Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, Swift MotorSports airs iRacing paints. Xfinity Series fires things off once again. Championship format racing round number 2 gonna fire off here tonight from Kansas Speedway. Track temperature just about that 105. Nice little breeze for the fans in the stands. A sold out packed house here tonight from Kansas Speedway. For the Strange Music 187, we've got 125 laps of great action right at your doorstep. Before we head trackside for your qualifying times, how you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave, bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, let's go ahead. Throw some of those times up to the left-hand side of your screen. Light field here tonight looks to be about 12 drivers looking after a checkered flag here tonight. Justin Gann looking to repeat the performance from behind the wheel of his Performance Motorsports Truck Series machine last night at Nashville Super Speedway. Justin Gann sat on the pole, walked away as the race winner. Can he do it again here tonight? Round number 2, fixing to get underway. 10 drivers with a timed lap. Looks like the 85 and the 01 are going to forego qualifying, so that's going to do it. That's going to be a wrap. Put it in the bag as that number 30 Toyota Supra will start front of the field, lead us to the green flag. So point standings, reset, top 12 will vie for the final 8 positions, the chance for the Season 6 championship at Texas Motor Speedway in just a few short weeks. We're going to get into some of that a little bit later on, but we're going to step away as we head trackside for your national anthem. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And we're going to bring you right back live trackside as the final few drivers make their way to their starting positions. Tell you what, let's have a little look closer to the track as these drivers all line up on pit road, waiting the signal from the pace car to get things fired off and underway here tonight. Should just be a short few seconds before we see that iRacing pace car begin to lead this field off of pit road. 5 different race winners so far this season. Will we see the domination continue from the Performance Motorsports stable of drivers, Jerry Cochran III, Todd Cray, Bailey Dutton, Justin Gann, four very heavy hitters. And four very heavy hitters sitting right at the front of the field. We're going to keep our eye on them all night long, so as we hear the words being given to the iRacing officials, the pace car will begin to head off. And as we hear that familiar music in the background, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Strange Music 187, walking away with the Performance Motorsports Pole Award. Behind the wheel of that number 30 machine, Justin Gann will lead us to the green flag. Todd Cray in the Coors Light 22 going to start just to his outside. The Throwback Hardys 26 of Bailey Dutton going to start inside row number 2 with the Grayson Jade Photography 72 just to his outside. Ray Lane back with his track side. He's going to start inside the Cuban Missile Rocket. Roy Fernandez in 6th position. Casey Duncan and Nick Hunt back in row number 4 with David Medina Sr. and Jason Branch finishing out your top 10. Cody Sleeper going to be the final driver in the field here tonight, so drivers going to quickly make their way out of form. We're going to get ready to fire things off here tonight, so as the music begins to fade, we're going to get the starting lineup out of your way, and away we go. Green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Kansas Speedway. Two, three wide there with Fernandez in the middle. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all right here running with each other. Casey Duncan in the 11 going at it with Nick Hunt. Hunt to the bottom. Back to the top in 3 this time. Serve pro number 11 of Casey Duncan digging, looking. Woo! Holy. I don't know how much he just cleared that 00 by, but it was millimeters, I can promise you that. Stacked up inside of the racetrack, 4 drivers going to run that inside line. Bailey Dutton going to look a little bit higher. Todd Cray falling back now to 3rd as Ray Lane picks up the 4th position. Top 3, 4 going to head to the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to leave JC3 at the top. A lot of momentum working off of turn number 4 back across the stripe. Lap number 3 goes on the board. Interesting to notice that Fernandez and Duncan, the only 2 drivers still lingering up at the high side of the racetrack through 1 and 2. Down here in 3 and 4, we've seen some guys already start to search around a little bit, utilizing the high side through 3 and 4. We'll see if that pans out to be a fast line or if it's going to be a single file. Follow the leader race here tonight. Lap number 4 going to go on the board. More drivers joining the drive at the top side. So with lap number 5 going on the board, we're going to drop that timing and scoring back over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. Pole sitter Justin Gann still out front. Bailey Dutton going to take 2nd spot away from Todd Cray, who falls back to 3rd. Jerry Cochran the 3rd, sitting in 4th, and Ray Lane finishes out your top 5, but just for a moment, the Black Rifle Coffee Company Bass Pro Shops. Number 3, the Cuban Missile Rocket. Roy Fernandez going to fire it down to the bottom and pick up that 5th position. Crossover coming from Lane, looking, searching back into 1. He'll have the drive down into the center of the corner. Will he be able to keep it wound up, get the forward bite? Looks like Fernandez is going to keep it wound up at the high side and will keep the position. Casey Duncan going to put a nose to the outside of Lane. Woo! Contact Duncan and Lane slide contact through the tri-oval. I'll tell you what, guys, let's jump around a little bit if we can. Still watching this battle unfold. Ray Lane starting to suffer a little bit on that inside lane. Lost the position to Casey Duncan. Lost the position to that 11. Or I apologize, the 00 of Nick Hunt. Now Jason Branch beginning to work his way to the outside of Lane. Falling from grace from 5th to 9th. Lane heading in the wrong direction. Follow the leader at the front of the field out to a 3/10 of a second advantage is your pole sitter Justin Gann. Dutton and Craig to follow right in his tire tracks. Just a handful of drivers really flirting with different lines, looking for the opportunity early while you still got a little bit of grip out of these Goodyears to try some different lines to see if they can't create a run at the guys that just seem to be pacing at the front right now. Fernandez gonna stay true to the high side, pick up the position on Jerry Cochran the third, now to the inside of Todd Craig. Bailey Dutton gonna drop down, try to block that move. Looks like he's gonna do so with a fair amount of ease. Now Fernandez will suffer a little bit here. Todd Craig gonna work his way back to the high side. Things beginning to heat up inside of your top 5 now. Bailey Dutton looks like maybe wanting to stall the run out of that Bass Pro Shop number 3 machine. Fernandez dropping to the bottom of the racetrack. Fernandez going to keep it to the high side this time. By 72 going to follow through. Casey Duncan threading the needle on the outside, almost into the outside wall. 3 wide now with Hunt. Holy Jesus. Man, there's stuff going on all over the place here tonight. A lot of action early here from Kansas Speedway. Lap number 11 on the board. 2-3 wide racing at times. Oh my goodness. And it looks like that Larson line. It looks like that Harry Gant line. The high, wide, and handsome line here is going to be the dominant line. We're starting to see more and more drivers migrate to that high lane. We'll see it here again. 4 out of the 5 drivers on screen up to that middle or high lane through 1 and 2. You can see Ray Lane suffering the consequences, going backwards once again. How about the great run? Let's get back up here to Roy Fernandez. This man is a man on a mission. Yet to go to victory lane this season, but in a phenomenal season nonetheless. 5 top 5s with 9 top 10s. An amazing season so far for him. He's looking at eyeballing a chance at the championship at Texas, and I wouldn't put it past that Bass Pro Shop Black Rifle Coffee Company number 3 machine. I'm telling you, Fernandez, he's been coming on stronger and stronger the closer and closer we've become to the championship. And I'm telling you, peaking is a thing. Peaking at the right time is a thing. And I think Fernandez, putting all of those pieces together, he's going to sit comfortably in second. 2-car length advantage over Dutton, who falls back to third. Todd Craig going to sit in fourth now with the John Deere 00. She thinks my tractor is sexy. Machine, man. I just, whoa, Jason Branch into the outside wall. Yeah, we're just going to act like I never said that. The 00 Nick Hunt going to sit in that 5th position. Got people in my ear saying, you know, Dave, this is why we can't have nice things. And you know, sometimes things just come to my head, and I gotta say it. It is what it is. Free Hardee's Hash Browns in the morning for the rest of the championship run here If Bailey Dutton's able to get back to victory lane, it's been put out on X that Hardee's will give out some free hash browns if this 26 machine is able to pile on into that winner's column. Sitting tied with teammates 3 apiece. Dutton, Cray, and Gann all with 3 wins apiece. Can we add to the list here tonight in the Strange Music 187 live from Kansas Speedway? Man, I'm telling you, these guys are leaning on each other. More contact now, the double O of Nick Hunt and Ray Lane. Contact between those 2 drivers. Todd Cray falling back just a little bit now. Todd all the way back outside of your top 5. They can see that course light 22. Bottom of the racetrack, struggling a little bit here around this mid-run pace. We'll see if Cray, a wily veteran, we'll see if he's got something up his sleeves. We'll see how the rest of the ride unfolds. Ray Lane starting to recover, starting to pick up all those pieces. Right back to where he started from here tonight. So looking to move forward once again is the Hyperdrive Motorsports number 44 machine of Ray Lane, that fast Ford Mustang. Holding true. Diving in deep to the bottom of the racetrack and just going to let the car wash up a little bit through that center off. And Ray Lane going to easily make the pass. Pick up that 4th position. He's got some speed last time around, 32.78 to race leaders 32.80. So just a tick faster, but Lane is definitely on his way. Let's take a look again. Once again, there's Roy Fernandez sitting in that 2nd position. The Black Rifle Coffee Company Bass Pro Shops number 3 machine. Again, an amazing run so far this season. Has a great chase going so far. Opening things up here tonight. Looking for just a solid top 5. If Fernandez can walk away with a solid top 5, he's not going to have to really worry about Phoenix next week. That is the main agenda for all of your championship drivers. We've got 8 out of the 12 championship drivers in the field here tonight. Missing in action, Kevin Burrows, John McMillan Jr., Gary May, and John Wimbish. They're going to be behind the 8 ball when we visit Phoenix in 2 weeks to finish out round number 2 here in season number 6. You're watching the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Xfinity Series. Race leader pole sitter Justin Gann stepping out and away. Nice little chance to relax. Start hitting your marks. Start looking at that pit road entry every now and again. Start just getting those marks down. Fernandez, Dutton, and Lane now going to go at it. 2nd, 3rd, 4th on the racetrack. Throw a blanket over them as they cross the line. Lap number 23 going to go on the board, and we're going to jump on board now. Let's jump on board. Can we get it with the 24, or the 44? Oh, well, there you go. It's like you guys knew who I meant when I messed up, so I appreciate that. Always appreciate the hard work from everybody back here behind the scenes on the production team, making me look good when I make myself look dumb. Just saying. Anyways, we're going to stay on board here with a man that's on a mission to get back to the front. He made his way to the 3rd position fell all the way back to 8th. Now back on a run to the front. We're inside the cockpit watching the man put in work. Behind the wheel of the fast Ford Mustang, Ray Lane going to put the 44 into 2nd. Down on the bottom of the racetrack. Looking to work his way off of 3 and 4. Back across the stripe this time. Lap number 25 on the board. 100 laps remaining here tonight. The Strange Music 187. And it's quite an amazing thing that we're watching here and witnessing, mainly right here at the front of the field. We're seeing second, third, fourth, kind of just switch, swap, accordion effect style. We seen Fernandez less than 10 laps ago running comfortably in second, gave up second and fell back to fourth for about 3 laps. Now right here running once again in that second spot. Ray Lane gonna pick up third as Dutton falls back to fourth. The double O gonna still remain in that fifth position, but Jason Branch making a move now on Todd Cray. Let's take a look at the battle, short-lived battle, as Cray needs to find a way to stop the bleeding. From about the mid portion of this run up until now, just struggling with the handling, struggling with pace. That Coors Light 22 has got to do something on pit road. I know the driver can't be happy on the radio. A lot of chatter down there on pit road out of the 22 crew, so we'll see what they can get done if we see that first round of green flag pit stops open things up. But here we go. Bailey Dutton gonna slide back a little bit deeper in the field now, as Ray Lane and Nick Hunt both go to the high side of the Hardee's Supra. Just comfortably fall back to fifth. I say comfortably fall back to fifth, but I mean, do you ever fall backwards in the field comfortably? I don't know. Roy and Ray going at it for the second position now, bottom of the racetrack. Ray Lane looking for second. He has shown some flashes of speed at times. Will it be able to at least slide up the racetrack and in front of that double O of Nick Hunt, or will Hunt be able to maintain the position? And he's not going to have to worry about that, because here goes Fernandez looking for the crossover. Not going to be able to pull the pass. He's going to stay all over the rear deck lid as they cross the line. Lap number 30 on the board, back in the one. Let's take a look a little further through the field. What has happened? We talk about falling from grace week in, week out. Those drivers at the front that seem to find themselves in the back. The Grayson Jade Photography 72 Toyota Supra. He's got a little bit of problems here tonight. He's got some trouble. Down 5 positions from where he qualified. Now sitting just inside of your top 10, because David Medina Sr., he's on his way. That 99 very well may put JC3 back in that 10th position. So when will he be able to cauterize the wound, stop the bleeding, and reshift the focus to get back to the front? A lot of great racing action, so I don't want to say this thing has the feel of a green, clean race, but we're already deep into this opening run here tonight from Kansas Speedway in the Strange Music 187. Jason Branch, we're seeing him now recover after a little bit of contact with that front stretch wall. Branch going to pick up 3 positions, move into 7th, nose to tail at the front of the field with Justin Ganwell. He gone. And as Gann gets gone, driver's going to exit the racetrack and head to pit road. Green flag pit stops underway. Ray Lane, Fernandez, Branch, Sleeper, and Medina Senior all to pit road. Nick Hunt going to pick up that 2nd position. Still being hounded by Bailey Dutton, who's going to stay out on the racetrack. Gann going to hand over the race lead now for the first time. Bailey Dutton going to become the new race leader here at Kansas Speedway. This is going to be the 13th race that this 26 has led at least 1 lap. He's got 11 top 10s with 9 top 5s. This Hardee's 26 has been absolutely lights out. Dutton going to look to continue the streak, stay out 1 lap, ahead to pit road. this time around, but where's that going to shake everybody out? Let's go back to the man that was first off of pit road. Ray Lane may be okey doke in the field here. Pull the wool over their eyes, the rug out from underneath their feet. There it is. Lane gonna easily bypass Todd Cray, and there it is. He will make the pass on Justin Gann. And what a difference one lap makes, right? Oh my goodness. From about a second and a half back to just over a second out front, Ray Lane going to become our newest race leader here tonight. Third different race leader of the evening here at Kansas Speedway. Hot and heavy on it with the action-packed action at the front. Ray Lane going to claim the top spot. Fernandez and Branch going to go at it. And they'll figure it out as Fernandez starts to step away. Cody Sleeper making some headway. How about the Detroit Gaskets? MGM Brinks Systems 01 machine working his way into a top 5 position. Todd Cray stopping the bleeding, but he's still outside of the top 5. The 22 has got to find some speed over this second green flag run if he's going to be a topic of talk at the end of tonight's race. Very quickly piling on the laps here tonight. Lap number 37 will go on the board this time by. So already less than 90 laps remaining here tonight in the Strange Music 187. You're watching Chase Race number 3. That's right. Round number 2 kick starts here tonight. From Kansas City, Kansas, it's the Kansas Speedway Strange Music 187. Big shout out to all of our title sponsor, Airs Eye Racing Paints. If you're in the market looking for a new livery, maybe you want to get your pit crew spiced up, want to get a different pit board out there, they've got something for all your needs, wants, and concerns. Once again, that's Airs Eye Racing Paints. You can find them on Facebook as well as down in the description. So while you're here, while you're at it, make sure you give these drivers that thumbs up. It lets them know you appreciate the racing content, not just here tonight, but each and every week right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, just after the round of green flag pit stops. And it looks like some gaps beginning to develop at the front, so the hot spot is going to be right here with Jason Branch, Cody Sleeper, Todd Cray, Nick Hunt, and Bailey Dutton. We've got some heavy hitters now outside of the top 5. Drivers that were constants inside of your top 5 before the round of green flag pit stops. Man, Bailey Dutton with a terrible green flag pit cycle exchange. And we're looking at the time, 15.3 seconds in the box, a little bit long for Nick Hunt. 14.9 for Bailey Dutton. 44.6 on and off pit run for Dutton. So everything looks to be in line, just staying out that those extra 1 to 2 laps really hurt. Really hurt that 26. We'll see if Dutton's able to make some headway a little later on throughout the run with those 2-lap pressured tires. But let's rejoin the drivers at the front, battling for second and third. Fernandez gonna sit right behind Gann, looking for the position, looking for the pass, but that 30 machine a little bit stubborn. We're going to take a look off of the right side now. Take a look at the man putting in work behind the wheel of that Bass Pro Shops number 3 all over him. They enter on the high side to 3. And there you can see the 85 just working his way behind the camera, trying to keep himself on the lead lap for the moment. Kevin Brookman with just a rough go, just seems to be a little bit off pace here tonight, unable to keep up with the rest of the field. The 99 of David Medina, he's going to be the next one on the list under the crosshairs But these drivers at the front, they still got a long way to go to get to Medina. But that 85 struggling just a little bit here tonight. We're going to watch your top three as Justin Gann has arrived on the scene looking to reclaim that top spot. And we've got Todd Cray and Jason Branch going at it just behind him. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all mixing it up here on the track. So 2nd and 3rd going at it, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th going at it. We can add Cody Sleeper into that mix. So from 2nd all the way through 8th right here. Side-by-side action as the Navy accelerates your life. 28 machine of Jason Branch, bottom of the racetrack, not going to be able to make the lead. Now the French tires of Dutton going to look to the bottom of the racetrack, pull even with Cray on the corner exit. They're going to drag race to the start-finish line. Dutton will have the advantage, though. Dutton will have the advantage when they get back to turn 1. Makes the slide up the racetrack. Oh, my God. There's few other times that I hold my breath other than those kind of moments right there. Those kind of late breaking fly jobs are almost, or at least for myself, they're breathtaking. Because you can't quite see if the driver's clear or not. It's kind of a, I think, yeah, he's got it. I don't know. Hold a lot of stake in these things. Ray Lane, meanwhile, at the front, able to keep Justin Gann and Roy Fernandez at bay for the moment. Bailey Dutton going to take over that 4th position, walk away from Todd Cray, who falls into 5th. Nick Hunt now 6th. Jason Branch running in 7th. 8th place to JC3. And what a rough night to the man that's just been on the, I don't want to say on the high horse, but has had an amazing handful of weeks. Walking away with 2 race wins, multiple podium finish. Jerry Cochran III, absolutely on fire as of late, but tonight he's been stagnant. He's just been kind of stuck. Right, started at the front of the field and just has just kind of fell backwards and been stuck right around that 7th or 8th position. Sitting about 0.8 of a second off of the tail end of that 28 Fast Ford Mustang of Jason Branch, sitting in that 7th spot. So Jerry Cochran Jr., he's got to find some speed, man. I don't know where it went from Dover to here, but my goodness. So we're going to jump around the racetrack just a little bit. What do you say we bring you some more action here tonight? How about the Serve Pro number 11? It looks like producers wanting to jump around a little bit more. Let's take a look here at Bailey Dutton. By the wheel of that Hardy's machine. We've talked about Dutton quite a bit here tonight. We've talked about him quite a bit over the course of season number 6. Just an amazing driver, an amazing talent, fast week in, week out. And find Dutton heading to the front. 1, 2, 3 starting to separate themselves just a little bit. About a 2 to 3 car length separation between each one of those drivers as Dutton starts to close in. The big green tractor, the John Deere Double O. He ain't plowing no fields. He looks like he's running a little bit loose here tonight. Seeing the back end twitch just a little bit for Nick Hunt as he's looking to show out a little bit here. Right, Hunt, one of the drivers that made it into that championship 16, missed the cutoff by just a couple of points. Now on a mission to show this championship field that he should have been a driver moving on with a shot at the championship. Nick Hunt with a good run here tonight. So far he sits in 6th. We'll see if he can pick up a handful more positions before tonight's run is over. Back here at the front though, man, I'm telling you, the more these two guys battle it out, the quicker Dutton's going to close in, and we're going to have a 3-way battle for the final two positions on the podium here. Still just about 11 laps away from the halfway point here tonight. So as we get to that halfway point, drivers are going to start eyeballing their second round of green flag pit stops. They're going to hit pit road somewhere around that lap 64, well, 60 to 65 area. 4 sets of tires on pit road. Everybody in the field, they're going to be asking, screaming for 4 freshies this time, so I would guarantee you we're going to see the entire field with 4 tire stops, filling it up with fuel. We'll try to carry this thing on out to the green, or to the checkered, I should say, under green flag conditions, and just look what a battle does. Bailey Dutton able to close in on Fernandez, and that has allowed Justin Gann to start to open up the gap just a little bit. We're going to stay right here for just a moment as Dutton continuing to battle, continuing to try to take that position away. Unsuccessful for the moment. We'll take a little look off of the tail end of this number 3 machine. Taking a look back at the Toyota Supra, starting to hound them and close in. Todd Cray not too far off in the distance, sitting in that 5th position. Field across the line, lap number 55 on the board. There's the move to the bottom. Dutton going to show him the nose, getting into turn number 3. Will he make the pass? Fernandez going to crack the throttle, look for the crossover. Dutton going to chase him down the racetrack. And this is great racing. You could hear Fernandez yield the position by jumping out of the throttle, but giving the position with the intention of getting it right back. Ooh, flirting with that outside wall. Little bit of contact with the outside wall for Fernandez, and the 3 will now drop back to 5th. Todd Cray, he's back in the mix. Here comes Nick Hunt as well. And I'm going to head to the front. Let's go up front with Ray Lane. This number 44 machine came to pit road on lap number 32. Utilized the short pit, the undercut, to grab the race lead. Justin Gann was able to close in, but very briefly, Lane was able to step out, off, and away from Gann, who has been the class of the field here tonight, who has been a driver that has been the benchmark over the course of the past 5 to 6 weeks. Consistent finishes week in, week out. Still holding on to that 100% rating on top 10s and top 5s. When Justin Gann shows up, you can expect him to run at the front. You can expect him to finish inside of the top 5. You might want to go ahead and keep his name in the hat for the race winners. 3 wins to his name as well in 10 starts. Man, I'm telling you, just a phenomenal job so far for that number 30, but putting on him right now, those fresh tires. Or I should say that those fresh tires sooner really has paid dividends for Ray Lane, out to a 1.4 second advantage over Justin Gann, who's broadened the gap back to Dutton. Todd Cray still right there hanging on in the background, but Cray now going to have to deal with Fernandez and Hunt. That's going to be a 3-way battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. A little further on back, we got some action between the 99 and the Serve Pro number 11 machine. They're going to battle off of turn 4, looking for 10th. Medina Senior looking to break in to the top 10. So right around the corner from this second green flag pit stops already quickly in deep. Here tonight in the Strange Music 187. Big shout out if you don't know Strange Music. You might not know Kansas City. That's all I'm saying. If you're from Kansas City, you're from the Midwest, you know about Strange Music and Tech 9 and all the talent over there at that stable. So a big shout out to those guys. And girls, there's a handful of girls over there at Strange Music as well, so we can't leave them out. But it's all about the action. It's all about what's happening here tonight at Kansas Speedway. We're going to whittle this field. This championship 12 is going to go to 8 when we head to Texas. Tonight has big playoff implications. 4 of your championship 12 not in the field. That's going to set up 8 of them with a good buffer heading into Phoenix. Lap 63 on the board, and Ray Lane going to give up the top spot. He's going to head to pit road looking to continue that undercut strategy. Justin Gann going to reclaim second. Bailey Dutton Justin Gann reclaims first. Dutton back to second with Todd Cray moving into third. Roy Fernandez back to fourth. Fifth place, Nick Hunt. Todd Cray slowly beginning to reel back in Bailey Dutton. Looks like Cray saving a little bit of the tires here for the tail end of the run. It's where he struggled a little bit on that opening green flag run. Looking like he's keeping a little better pace here. As the green flag pit cycle continues, what will happen this time? By just again, Bailey Dutton, Todd Cray. No, Cray gonna stay. Cray gonna stay out on the racetrack. Nick Hunt, the double O, gonna head to pit road. And see, I don't know if I like this strategy. Right, Ray Lane to pit road back on lap number 63. He was only to pit road 1 lap sooner than Justin Gann last time. This is going to be at least 3 laps, and we've seen the dividends that it paid for Lane, as Justin Gann going to now give up the top spot. Todd Cray going to follow with JC3 on the pit road as well. That's going to leave just Bailey Dutton on track as he reclaims the top spot for the second time here tonight. But it's going to be a short-lived trip at the front. He's going to have to hit pit road here in the next, I would say, lap or 2. I wouldn't be surprised to hear him or see him come to pit road. Sounds like he's a little bit coasty here. Through 3 and 4, maybe. Oh, we got some strategy unfolding now. Stretching the fuel to make it another 34-lap run. This is very interesting. And there you can see Ray Lane just behind him. He is listed 1 lap down. The entire field called 1 lap down for the moment by Dutton, but he is going to give up that top spot. Lane will reclaim a position on the lead lap as Dutton on to pit road. Nice and easy. Didn't look like he gave up too much time there. Nothing to be concerned about on his way to the attention of the crew members. Let's head back out on the racetrack with the 44 of Ray Lane. Halfway down the backstretch is Dutton still waiting to get to the pit box. Right side's going to go up. Tires on. Down and away to the left side. It's going to be close. Bailey Dutton looking to roll off of pit road. Down and away goes the Jack, and Dutton moves on, but it's not going to be quick enough. Easily to the point once again. Ray Lane going to back on to the advantage here. Lap number 69 underway, and Ray Lane out to a 5+ second advantage. Whew. Just when we thought Justin Gann was the man that was running away with this thing, Ray Lane gonna pull some strategy and walking the dog. All these boys now showing up to show out. He's looking to spoil a victory lane opportunity for these championship competitors. Ray Lane falling short on his attempt to run for the Season 6 championship, so showing up just for the race wins, and Lane looks like he may have this thing figured out. Still just about a 5-second advantage as he's walking the dog at the front. Let's head back to a battle. We got a 3-car battle on the racetrack. Let's head here. Cody Sleeper going at it with Jerry Cochran III. There's Bailey Dutton, the 00 John Deere machine once again. Nick Hunt's going to be in the conversation. And week in and week out, he's becoming more and more of a staple of conversation in these races. Nick Hunt really, I don't want to say going from Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Every Event, but man, Nick Hunt kind of emerging on the scene here, out of left field, if you will. Had that opportunity to run for the championship, fell just short on making it into the round of 12. And again, as we alluded to earlier, maybe trying to flex a little bit of muscle. Saying, hey guys, you should have found a way to get me through. So as this battle calms down just a little bit, Bailey Dutton going to set his sights now on Nick Hunt. Roy Fernandez dealing with a little bit of action, sitting in that third position. We're going to transition a little bit forward on the track here as Dutton going to make short work by taking that inside lane, shortest way around the racetrack, and he will pick up the 5th position. Let's go here. As Fernandez and Cray battling for the final spot on the podium. Cray going to go to the bottom of the racetrack, take the position away, but here comes that here comes the Bass Pro Shop Black Rifle Coffee Company. Number 3 machine back with a run to the bumper. Gonna give him a little shove into the corner. Dutton making short work of the field with the much fresher tires this time. Bailey Dutton with about 3 to 4 lap fresher tires in the drivers. Then he's starting to pick up these positions on. He's going to make some short work of even these fast guys at the front of this field. There you can see Todd Cray less than a second in front of Dutton, sitting in that final podium position. Cray, long battle to get himself back here. Bright fell back during that first green flag run, struggled a little bit during that second green flag run, has found some speed, got himself back in a podium position, got himself back into a fighting position. All to see Big Orange getting bigger. That rear view mirror behind the Toyota Supra of Bailey Dutton starting to close in on Cray. That's going to be a battle for third. Let's go back to a closer battle. Let's go back here with Jerry Conkin III and Nick Hunt battling for position. That's going to be 6th and 7th on the racetrack. And again, we like to bring you all the action here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It ain't about the guys at front. It's about the action. If you're beating and banging, if you're giving it your all, we're going to find a way to get you your recognition, to get you out there for the fans in TV land to watch some of the great racing action. Less than 2/10 separate these two drivers. We're going to go back up to Todd Cray, battling with Bailey Dutton. Cray not rolling over, forcing Dutton to really work for this position. I mean, it's a valiant effort, but the fresher tires will prevail. Bailey Dutton going to take away that third and final spot on the podium here tonight. And with one more round of green flag pit stops looming in the air, we're going to see drivers hit pit road right around lap number 93-ish. Right, anywhere from 90 to 95 is when we should see these drivers to pit road. That will be enough to get them to the end on fuel. We've seen Bailey Dutton stretch it 35 laps. Does anybody gamble? I mean, does anybody in the field gamble? We've got Ray Lane out showing the way. No worries about championship implications for Lane. He can throw any strategy he wants at it. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, he's not going to lose that much sleep about it. Nick Hunt sitting in that 6th position. Do you try a massive undercut and push that fuel limit to the edge of operation just for the race win? If you're one of these championship 12, the handful of drivers in the championship chase in the field here tonight, you're already going to start with an advantage when you head into Phoenix above that cutoff line. Do you throw caution to the wind? Or do you play it safe? Personally, I'm not having my driver point race. We never show up to a track to go points racing. That ain't what it's about. It's about winning. If you're up front, the points are going to be there. But if you're in the back, just biding time for a position here, in a position there, the points may not be there. But you can rest assured if you run at the front, you finish at the front, the points are going to follow. So I'm going after the race win. And if it doesn't work out, that's on me. That's not on the driver. That's on me as the crew chief and strategist. So I'm going to use a prime example right here. Todd Cray. Victory lane last week at the Concrete Jungle, Dover International Speedway. Sitting now in 4th. Hasn't really shown the speed here tonight. Lingered inside of the top 3 for a handful of laps, but hasn't really shown that speed. We've seen what the undercut will do. We've watched it unfold twice now with Ray Lane, who is still out front by just under a second and a half. We know the undercut is big. It could become massive. I'm asking Todd right now on the radio, if I'm his crew chief, how many laps can you get me? How many laps can you get me on fuel? Because I'm looking at lap 90. That's at least 35 laps. I need you to be able to go all out for 35. Run the thing dry. I don't care. But I need 35 laps. I'm going to try to catch this field off guard and see what happens. That's my take on it. And we've seen Todd Cray make some moves like that just a handful of weeks ago. Fuel strategy just didn't pan out for him. So we know Cray's crew chief is proactive. We know he's willing to take gambles. Will he do it here tonight? We're going to go back to a battle on the racetrack, though. Let's get back to some of the action I know you guys out there in TV land kind of tired of listening to me just rant and rave, so we're going to get back to some action to talk about here. Fernandez, who was inside of the top three, he's having a little bit of a rough go. Maybe the tire life just not working out here on this second green flag run for him. He's going to drop outside of the top five, now back to seventh, one spot further than where he qualified, so now heading into those negative numbers. Fernandez is going to have to find some speed. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're just about 35 laps away from the end of tonight's race here at Kansas Speedway. You're watching the Airs High Racing Paints Xfinity Series. We've been clean and green all night long. Here are the Strange Music 187. And again, we alluded to the high side becoming the dominant line. Oh, Fernandez into the outside wall. That's not going to help the search for speed. That's not going to help the cause. The Cuban Missile rocket fizzing out just a little bit late in the going here tonight. Down the back stretch, back into turn number 3. Trying to reel back in that Grayson Jade Photography 72 machine of Jerry Cochran III, who also has just had a rough, uncharacteristic go here tonight at Kansas Speedway. It just hasn't really shown the form, hasn't really shown the speed, but right on that top 5 threshold. So we'll see if JC3 can make up a little bit of ground, make up a little bit of time. Meanwhile, there you can see that double O of Nick Hunt just holding on to 5th for the moment. And again, if y'all have watched for a handful of weeks, you know, every time I see this machine, I immediately think of the 2 country songs. Number 1, She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy, and number 2, Big Green Tractor. Every single time. I don't think there's a time that I don't pass a John Deere that those 2 songs don't just immediately pop in my head. Bahandra, if you're listening, you guys got to come up with some kind of jingle, man. I mean, I love the Tony Stewart, Chase Briscoe commercials, but y'all got to do a little bit better, man. Step your game up. I mean, every time I think of John Deere, I think of 2 very well-known country songs. And as soon as I hear those country songs, I think of John Deere. What better way to advertise? Great job. That's all I'm going to say. Justin Gann, he's going to pull the trigger. He's on the pit road. Justin Gann, Bailey Dutton to pit road again with a big puff of smoke coming to pit lane. Was he too quick looking to pull the rug out from under Ray Lane with short pitting here? Gann and Dutton may have been listening. Crew chiefs may have been listening to the broadcast here. And if it works out, I am taking every bit of credit. Just saying. Ray Lane, Todd Crane, Nick Hunt, all to pit road. Jerry, and Nick Hunt tried to come to pit road. He's going to pick up a commitment cone violation for that one. Look for a little bit of an extended stay for Hunt. And that's going to hand the race lead over for the first time here tonight. Race leader David Medina Sr. going to go to the point for the first time here tonight behind the wheel of that 99 machine. Firing down the back stretch, he's got Jason Branch right there in tow. Branch definitely one of those drivers that you got to talk about week in, week out, has just been off in the speed department a little bit so far this season, but has had some very consistent runs. He will come to pit road this time, and that's going to leave Medina Senior out front. I'm talking about Jason Branch this season. Let's not sell the guy short. I mean, 9 top 10s, 2 top 5s, an amazing run so far. And as Medina Sr. heads to pit road, let's jump back out on the racetrack, and here it is. You heard me talk about it. You heard me say it. You heard me preach about that undercut. And guess what? Justin Gann could have come to pit road just one lap sooner, from 1.4 back now to a 2-second advantage. That undercut is serious. Absolutely serious. I'm telling you. My goodness. Todd Craig going to lose a little bit of ground, so it looks like your top three pretty much figured out. It's just a matter of the finishing order at this point. Lane sitting 2 seconds back. Bailey Dutton starting to close in on that 44. We've got battles in the back, though. Sleeper and Branch and Medina Sr. go at it for a moment. As the 99 gets up to speed, Sleeper and Branch going to continue on that battle. Let's head back to that battle between the 28 and 1, please. Let's get them on screen. There it is. There's Cody Sleeper working his way off the corner exit, back across the stripe. Lap number 98 on the board. We are less than 30 to go here tonight in the Strange Music 187. Casey Duncan starting to make some headway. He's going to look to take over that 9th position and force Medina Sr. back to 10th. There you can see the 85 of Kevin Bolkema down multiple laps here tonight. Going to stay out of the way, and it looks like mechanical problems for Nick Hunt. We're going to get somebody down there at the hauler, see if we can find out what happened to Hunt. That 00 machine, but it looks like some mechanical failure is going to force Hunt to the hauler early here tonight after an amazing run. It's all going to get cut short. That 00 going to finish back in 12th. We're going to see 25 to go this next time by. Let's get back to some of the action on track. There you can see Justin Gann crossing the line. 100 laps behind us with 25 to go. Action on track is for second and third. All over the rear deck lid, packing. That bumper cover full. The Ford Mustang going to have a rear view mirror full of Hardys. Can the hyperdrive make it through the drive-thru? No, that's terrible, David. Stop that. Looking for a funny pun, but it just didn't. We stopped ourselves halfway through. It just wasn't going to work. What a run right there. Slide job with a crossover coming right back at you. Ray Lane says you can have it, but I'm going to get it back. That is a dirt track move if I've ever seen one, as well as Jeff Gordon used to be very prominent for doing that. Gordon would kind of bait you into forcing you, right, to make that dive in that slide, knowing he's kind of backing you up a little bit, giving you that false sense of hope, that false sense of security, that false sense of speed. He would let you overdrive the corner, try to save the corner by washing up the racetrack, pull the undercut, and walk away. And it looks like Ray Lane may have learned from one of the very best, as he's walked away with about a 6-car length advantage over Bailey Dutton as the battles begin to dissipate and go away. Let's go back here with Sleeper and Branch going at it, 7th and 8th on the track. And again, that battle between Ray Lane and Bailey Dutton started to heat back up once again. 3/4 of a second deficit between the two. Big gaps back all the way throughout the field. Next battle is the one on screen between Jason Branch as well as Cody Sleeper. And Sleeper, one of those drivers who, no, This is definitely not an intended pun. He hasn't been a sleeper here this season. We've mentioned him several times as our dark horse picks many weeks here in the Airs Eye Racing Paints Xfinity Series. It just, again, staying relevant, staying in the conversation as much as he can. Coming to the end of tonight's race, and he's going to finish with a solid top 10. That's going to set him up for a good run at Phoenix, to where he really only has to finish, I mean, honestly, inside of the top 10. 2 solid top 10s, and you're going to move on to Texas. With less than 20 laps to go, we can spit it out, we promise. With less than 20 laps to go, gaps all throughout this field. It looks like, barring any catastrophe or chaos, the field is set. The final running order is what it is. And we're going to take just a moment. We haven't done it at all here tonight, so let's give a handful of these drivers some highlights and spotlights right here, front of the field, showing the way. After walking away with the Premier Racing Setup Pole Award, Justin Gann looking to repeat last night's performance by walking away with the pole position as well as the checkered flag. The Virginia Beach native on a tear. Gonna continue that 100% stat. On top 5s and top 10s, Justin Gann shows the way. Most laps led here tonight. Just an amazing run in the Strange Music 187 for this number 30 machine. And the man sitting in second, one of your biggest movers of the race out of Rutherford, North Carolina, Ray Lane. Gonna pilot that 44 machine, looking good here tonight, sitting in the second position. Up 3 spots from where he qualified. Led a handful of laps here tonight. Undercut, got him back at the end. We'll see if he can't reel your race leader in. Bailey Dutton, solid night as always. The Loganville, Georgia kid. Looking to pile on yet another podium here tonight. Todd Cray, the Jersey Devil himself, having a tough night. All right, started at the front, fell deep through the field, back into a podium position, outside of the podium, back into your top 3, now sitting in 4th. And with 15 laps to go across the stripe this time, Todd Cray looks like he may just have to settle for 4th. And that's going to lead us to this man right here, Jerry Cochran III. It's going to put a stop to his podium finishes here tonight, as well as JC3 sits in that 5th position. The Grayson Jane Photography 72, just a little bit off pace here tonight. Gave up a little too much time and just can't seem to make that deficit up. An amazing run tonight, though. Nonetheless, he's still going to walk away with some good points. But again, we don't come to points race. We come to win. And here tonight, Jerry Cochran III going to be shut out of victory lane. That's going to be your driver highlights and spotlights as we continue the final few laps here tonight. 21 miles of racing action remain, 14 laps to go. And we got some drama building. Ray Lane gone. Stepped away from Bailey Dutton. Has that 26 given up? Has he become complacent and comfortable with the idea of finishing in 3rd? I think that's going to be a troublesome mindset, because we're going to have a battle now for this top spot. 12 laps to go as we cross the line, this time by the gap at the front, down to 1 second. Very doable, very manageable. Can Lane find speed to get back there? Can Lane find the speed to try to battle again for the top spot once again at the end of tonight's race? Man, it's going to be a hard-fought battle here with just about 10 to go. So we're seeing something a little bit different here as the course of this third and final green flag run unfolds. We're really starting to see gaps become prevalent and very evident throughout this field. We've had battles and passes for position all night long, multiple different skirmishes between a handful of different drivers, but here on this third and final green flag run, the gaps just seem to have stabilized, developed, and don't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. Cody Sleeper is heating things up back there with David Medina Sr. That's going to be for 8th and 9th. We want to keep it here with the race leaders, though. Going to keep it here for just a handful more laps. Let's see if Ray Lane's able to close the distance. About a 15-car length advantage for the moment. And that's what a second looks like, race fans. You hear us say 0.8 of a second, but when you look out on the track, you're like, man, that seems to be a lot bigger than 0.8. Again, back across the stripe, still that 0.8 second advantage as he makes his way back into turns 1 and 2. Back at the high side once again, and Lane gonna flirt with the outside wall. A little bit of contact. You can see him lay down a black mark on that outside wall. That's just gonna immediately give Justin Gann about 2 to 3 tenths back over Lane, and I think that may have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Is that the saying? Is that right? Okay. Never said it before, so hopefully it's the right way to go. But that may have done it right there. He was closing, got to within a second, slowly started closing still. But contact with the outside wall 2 laps ago. Ray Lane dropping back and just unable to recover right now. 6 remain here from Kansas Speedway and the strange music of 187. You're watching the Xfinity Series. Brought to you by Ayers iRacing Paints in partnership with Performance Motorsports as well as Swift. Each and every Tuesday night you can find some great racing action right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't already, before we go tonight, before we see this checkered flag fly, drop these guys that thumbs up. There it is, high five for the boss man of the flag stand. We're going to see 5 to go. We are 5 laps away from a complete green flag race. We have been green for 120 laps here tonight from Kansas Speedway. That goes to show you the level of talent behind the wheel of these Ayers iRacing Paints Xfinity rides. Absolutely phenomenal. And your pole sitter showing the way back across the line. 4 to go. We're getting some side notes coming in from home office, and we're gonna mention it. We're gonna see if we can't come up with a GAN cam. I mean, because this guy has been on fire as of late. Let's see if we can't get a GAN cam inside of that 30 machine next time we hit the track at Phoenix. Let's see if we can go inside of the office and watch him put in work behind the wheel. I think that would be a phenomenal job. Nonetheless, phenomenal job here tonight. Justin again going to wrap it around the high side. Going to come across the stripe this time by. We'll see popsicle sticks on display. 2 to go here tonight from Kansas Speedway. Just 3 miles of action remain in GAN. Looking to pick up win number 4 on the season and separate himself from his teammates bragging rights, maybe going home with that 30. And it will be a maybe no more across the stripe. White flag flies. Final lap here tonight at Kansas. It's the Swift. 1 to go. Not much of a final lap for Gann. He's going to easily wrap it through 3 and 4, giving up a little bit of time, but without a care in the world, the 30 will cross the line as your race winner. Checkered flag in hand once again, 4th win this season as Gann puts it into victory lane. Man, it's gotta be a good feeling, you know, to come on strong all season long, but really start building that he's had consistency, but building that confidence coming to the championship. See how confident he is with the smoke show at the end of tonight's race on the front stretch for the sold out fans in the stands. Justin Gann gonna walk away with the race win. We're gonna step away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back with your post-race driver interviews right here from Kansas Speedway. And back high above Kansas Speedway for your post-race show, and we're going to dive right into things. Let's see if we can dial up A handful of these drivers that walked away on the podium positions here tonight. First up on the list, let's see if we can have a few words with the man behind the wheel of that 26 machine. The super was quick, but not super enough here tonight. Bailey, how you feeling after a solid podium to start this second round in the playoffs?
A little bit of a mixture, a little good and then a little bit of frustrated.
Well, we noticed a little bit there on that final run. What happened? What went on? It looked like you had a good amount of speed. It looks like you were closing in on those top two, and then just it looked like you fell flat.
I threw a slider on Ray and it got a little tight on me and I knew I heated up the tires, so when I got behind him, I was just riding and he kind of started pulling away and then I knew I probably didn't have much to make another run at him, so I just played the sit there and hope a caution comes out and my tires are better than theirs game.
Well, unfortunately, you didn't win that game. No caution gonna fly, and their tires didn't wear out. But nonetheless, man, you set yourself up for a pretty easy night at Phoenix in 2 weeks to finish out round number two. So, I mean, I know you show up to win these things. I know you don't come here to run for points. You don't come here to run second. But have you switched your mind frame at all yet? I know we talked to you a little bit about this in the truck series, but how about behind the wheel of this Xfinity ride? I mean, you've got an amazing stats this season. The championship race is right around the corner. Do you kind of forego what happens at Phoenix given the situation here tonight, walking away with a podium?
I going into it, sometimes I try to tell myself like just easy race, no big deal. But then I start racing, and then it's like, damn, I'm here to win. I'm trying to win every race.
We
It
understand
just
the
something
mindset.
happens, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going for it.
I tell you what happens: the green flag drops, and then you're like,
And, it's,
"I'm going to the front."
and then I got two teammates bugging in my ear like, oh, we're catching you. All right, all right, we're gonna pick it up now.
Well, Bailey, again, an amazing way to start off round number two here in season number six, but just coming up a little bit short here tonight. I'm sure you're going to go give them a go when we hit the track again at Phoenix. So before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, you putting on the broadcast, Andy and Don for putting the league on. Shout out to Justin and Ray. Ray was quick. Ray really had that race won. So I kind of feel bad for him, but it's part of racing and strategies play out the way they do. But shout out to them too because they were duking it out pretty good. Cousin Jess for watching. I think that's gonna round it out tonight.
Well, Bailey, have yourself a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. We hope we get to talk to you again soon. Until then, as always, stay safe and, of course, keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you go. Final few words from the man that walks away third. I won't say happy. We will use content. Okay, with walking away third, and you know that that's when you set the standard and the bar high. Is when you walk away with the podium and you're disappointed. That lets you know the mentality and the caliber of drivers in this field. And speaking of the mentality and caliber of drivers in this field, let's see if we can't now dial up the man behind the wheel of that Fast 44 machine, straight out of North Carolina, getting it done. Ray, man, an amazing finish for you. How you feeling now that you're out of the car?
Um, I wish I could have got one spot better, but it was a good race.
Well, we all always want to win, but can't always win. So finishing second maybe not necessarily a bad thing. But walking away here tonight from second after dominating a vast portion of the race, after utilizing that undercut, that short pit. During that first round of green flag pit stops, what was going through your mind as that final pit stop cycle started to close in, and you seen Gann hit pit road? What went through your mind there?
I was like, I don't know if he's gonna have enough fuel. I was trying to push him to run out of fuel because I know he was close. So and I only had .4 left, so and I pitted 1 lap later than him, so I knew whoever pitted first was gonna win if we had enough fuel. So that was the thing. Congrats to Justin. It was a good race.
Well, man, an amazing race for you and your 44 crew. Kind of was away from the racetrack for a little while. Since re-emerging on the scene, you've been giving them a handful once again. How you feeling about trying to show up and show out when we hit the track again at Phoenix?
Yeah, I'll love to give them a run for the money. So I had some stuff going on in my life, reason I wasn't here. So that's about it. But I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back with everybody. So
Well, I can tell you this much from a broadcasting standpoint. I'm glad to see you back trackside. I don't want to get into your personal things, but we hope everything's okay. We hope everything's smoothed out and where it should be at this point in time. We wish you the best on that side of things. We wish you the best here on trackside as well. So glad to see you back. Glad to see you back at that level of performance that we were used to. So before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
I'd like to shout out Don and everybody that puts on the league, y'all for broadcasting. Again, I got to thank my teammates, even though I ain't been around hardly this year. Hopefully everybody still likes me. So again, thanks to everybody. So that's about it.
All right, I can tell you this. We don't just like you. We love you around here. Glad to see you back. Hope to see you again in 2 weeks after the little vacation break that we have. And ready to go for the final 2 weeks. Until then, my friend, stay safe. And as always, keep it fast.
All right, man. You have a good one.
All right, there you go. Re-emerging on the scene, Ray Lane going to go back to those podium finishing ways. The 44, you better look out. He's going to throw, I got a feeling he's going to throw a little bit of a monkey wrench to some of these championship drivers' plans over the next final 2 weeks. And this is going to move us right back into victory lane. It's like deja vu #2 all over again. Pole position, race winning machine. Man, how do you do it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I just hit a really good qual lap, I can tell you that. And I decided to try to keep it out front that first run. Normally I try to save tires a little bit and I knew fuel was going to be close, so I wanted to run hard but keep it on the bottom and try to maintain my position instead of falling back because that dirty air was rough and I mean I was able to just walk away. So and it helped out that they battled a little bit behind me. So that first run I think is what really gave me the win.
Well, man, you had that top spot taken from you with a little bit of strategy of an undercut. As soon as you seen that and you noticed the times, did you start talking to the crew chiefs? Did you start looking at a little bit of strategy for the end of the race? Because we noticed you came in. You were the one that pulled the undercut on that last green flag stop. So was that the plan?
Yeah, I mean we were sitting there in the team room, sitting there talking about how we can short pit them, and really there was no way to short pit them, and because we thought he was going to have to pit before right at I think 32 laps or whatever it is to go, and he stayed out, and and when he stayed out, it was a wrap from there. I knew I had gotten close enough to pass him. And then it's almost impossible to pass on the bottom. So he might have got to me that last run, but I don't think he would have ever been able to pass. It's just too hard to pass on the bottom.
Yeah, we did notice that the line kind of migrated to the top of the speedway there. About midway through that first green flag run, it looked like that's where you really wanted to be, unless you were going to pull that old school kind of more dirt track-esque, if that's even a word, a slide job move that. I mean, if you know dirt track racing, you know exactly what we're talking about. So the line very dependent here at Kansas, a little bit different when we hit Texas in 2 weeks. Do you think you got what it takes to walk away with the season trophy?
Oh, we're gonna try to keep the momentum going for sure. So, like you said, the pole both nights and won both nights this week. So, hopefully, I don't cool down too much missing next week. But yeah, I'm thinking we keep it going. I mean, you've seen it, man. It's tough competition. It's anybody's race. So, um, I mean, I'm just gonna do everything I can.
Well, Justin, you did everything you could here tonight. Started from the front, ended it the same way. Before we let you go, you know the drill. We're going to step back into the corner, and mic is yours.
All right, yeah, I'll give a shout out Performance Motorsports, Hyperdrive Racing, Sim Magic, Ayers Racing Paints. You guys up at the booth for putting the broadcast on for us. Everybody on the team, everybody behind the scenes over here at Swift, and we got to give a special shout out to cousin Jess tonight. Because it's her birthday, so we got to do a little happy birthday to Jess. Uh,
Well, man, we want her to keep coming back. That's why I refrained from joining in because I mean, there's probably animals that would fall over and die if they heard me. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad, but seriously, no, cousin Jess, happy birthday. We're gonna cut Justin off here, and like gonna get to the important people. Justin, no offense here. Cousin Jess, happy birthday, man. Wish I had known. I would have shouted that out a long time ago. But anyways, Justin, hell of a season for you. You're going to continue that 100% top 10s and top 5s. Yet another race win, so the stats are just piling up. Looks like to be an iconic, historic season for you. We'll see if you can keep it going at Phoenix and in Texas. Until then, man, have yourself a safe, happy Memorial Day weekend and holiday. We'll hope to see you soon. Stay safe. And of course, keep it fast.
you too, Dave. Appreciate it.
Aye, there it is. Justin again gonna walk away with a hot shoe. Hoping not to cool off. But I know some of the fellow competitors might be wanting him to make the polar plunge because he is absolutely on fire as of late. Gonna pick up win number 4 of the season right here from Kansas Speedway. Just a job well done yet again. Gan with the win. What a night of racing. What an amazing night of racing. Lots of green flag action. We went clean and green all night long here tonight from Kansas Speedway in the Strange Music 187 with producers. Hitting the buttons in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time for us to run down tonight's unofficial race results in the Strange Music 187 for the Ayers Racing Paints Xfinity Series, brought to you by Swift. Walking away with the top spot, your premier racing setup. Pole Award winner Justin Gann will finish in victory lane. Roy Lane gonna come home in second with Bailey Dutton back in third. Todd Craig going to finish in 4th. Jerry Cochran to 3rd and 5th. Coming home 6th here tonight, the Cuban Missile Rocket, Roy Fernandez. Sliding home 7th, the U.S. Navy sponsored 28 machine of Jason Branch. David Medina Sr. going to finish in 8th. The Surf Pro number 11 of Casey Duncan back in 9th. Finishing out your top 10 championship hopeful and contender. The 1 of Cody Sleeper. Kevin Boklema going to finish in 11th, while Nick Hunt rounds out the 12-car field here tonight in the Strange Music 187. Big tip of the cap to the fellas just down the hall. Gentlemen, you've had an easy 2 nights this week. Pizza is on y'all. Andy Starcher, Don Kidder, the unsung heroes, the man's behind the scenes, making sure these things fire off without a hitch. Week in, week out. Big salute to both of you guys. Hope you guys have a happy and safe holiday. Cousin Jess, happy birthday. Hope you had an amazing day. Hope you have a great rest of the week, an amazing Memorial Day weekend. Cousin Jess, one of our I'm going to say most dedicated fans. You can find her week in, week out, each and every Monday and Tuesday night, shouting out her favorite drivers here with Swift. Cousin Jess, again, happy birthday. So with that being said, that's pretty much going to do it for us. So if you haven't already, remember to show these drivers some love and appreciation. And as well, before you go, join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Drop the drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell. Over there on the right-hand side, you get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. So a big shout out to each and every one of our sponsors. Big shout out to Trappers University. If you don't know about Trappers University, look them up. But stay safe, stay loved, my friends. And until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.